Welcome, and thank you for coming. Um, Tonight I will be talking about fully automated luxury queer space communism and the culture novels by Iain M. Banks, which I believe is likely the best fictional representation of the future that this meme, fully automated luxury queer space communism, envisions. So, what the heck is fully automated luxury queer space communism? It was born from the phrase fully automated luxury communism without the space or the queer. And no one seems to know who first coined the term, but in 2014, this person, Aaron Bastani, a British socialist and anti capitalist writer and commentator, posted a video on YouTube with the title Fully Automated Luxury Communism. The video discusses the increasing trend of human jobs being lost to automation and proposes that, rather than trying to artificially create new jobs for people, we let people work fewer hours, allowing them to live more fulfilling lives. The video appears to have launched the phrase fully automated luxury communism into the memosphere, where it took on a life of its own and evolved. Here are some examples of what it evolved into. Fully automated luxury gay space communism, fully insurrectionary luxury queer space anarchism, fully automated luxury queer space anarchism, fully automated luxury lesbian socialism with Chinese characteristics, and fully automated luxury queer space communism, which is like the one I'm using as sort of the umbrella term for all of these. There was also this meme, which was sort of and I know that's Bernie Sanders. I don't know who all these other people are, but I think it's pretty hilarious. Bernie in a beret. I know some of these people are like communist thinkers and. Okay, so this is a book. I found this great quote on. The title of the book is Post Memes Seizing the Memes of Production, which you might pick up as a play on Seizing the Means of Production, which is Marx's whole thing. So in this book, it describes the evolution of fully automated luxury communism into what we have just seen. And this is a quote from that book. These memes are ridiculous. They are gay as hell. They incorporate the semiotics of queerness while at the same time queering traditional forms of communist futuring. If fully automated luxury communism is the neo-capitalist faux socialist utopianism of Star Trek, fully automated luxury queer space communism is the post-scarcity civilization of Iain M. Banks' The Culture novels, wherein sentient post-gender panhumans and artificial intelligences coexist in an automated interstellar collection of societies. Which leads us to the next part of the presentation, The Culture Novels by Iain M. Banks. So there's 10 novels written by Iain Banks, who's a Scottish author. They were published between 1987 and 2012. Which is before the fully automated luxury communism term was even coined. In the book's fictional world, the culture is a group of civilizations that formed from 7 or 8 humanoid species that became a loose federation of about 9,000 years ago. They are a technologically advanced post-scarcity society of about 30 trillion individuals spread throughout the galaxy, including super powerful sentient AIs who are themselves citizens of the culture. They're treated with equal standing. There's no money in the culture. There's no official government. People are not required to work and only do so if they wish to. The dramatic tension in the novels comes mainly from the culture's interactions with other less evolved, less egalitarian civilizations, and from the culture's own malcontents, because not everyone wants to live in a utopia. So Here's how the culture embodies each aspect of fully automated luxury queer space communism. Fully automated. Just about everything in the culture is automated. Machines of varying levels of sentience take care of all the manual, intellectual, and administrative labor. Humans are free to do whatever they want with their time. They can follow their interests, make art, play games, rest, do drugs, have sex, spend time with loved ones, raise children, spend time in nature, travel, and undertake projects of simple or truly epic proportions. Many citizens take on responsibilities that may look like work, but they do so because they find it satisfying and meaningful and to be part of something larger than themselves. Their only compensation for doing so is the satisfaction of their own inherent drives. The more sophisticated AIs in the culture are also citizens, though they are vastly more intelligent than their biological humanoid counterparts. They help humans because it's easy and it makes them happy, kind of like the way pet owners enjoy taking care of pets. Luxury. In the culture, luxury doesn't mean exclusivity. It means universal access to beauty and comfort, pleasure and self-expression. It's made possible by its post-scarcity technology. The energy problem has been solved. Any kind of matter can be rapidly turned into any other kind of matter. Goods can be rapidly built from the molecular level. Not only does everyone have what they need, but they have whatever they want. You could even have your own spaceship if you wanted to. Queer. Everyone in the culture is free to be exactly who they are. There's no sex or gender-based discrimination. In part, this is because members of the culture can and often do change from one sex to another or live as intersex. Thanks to gene editing, culture citizens can change sexes just by thinking about it. The process takes about a year and requires no surgeries. Most culture citizens change sexes multiple times over the course of their roughly 300-year lifespans. Gender doesn't really exist in the culture. There are no gendered pronouns. There is one gender-neutral pronoun for all sentient beings and including sentient AIs. Regardless of sex, there are no roles assigned to anybody based on their bodies, their appearance, or the clothes that they wear. Space. Culture worlds are spread throughout the galaxy. There are some culture planets, but the culture generally considers planets wildernesses that should be preserved in their natural state. The vast majority of culture citizens live on giant orbitals that are planet-sized or larger. Orbitals are built by converting matter from asteroids and comets in a star system. Because they can convert any kind of matter into any other kind of matter, there's no shortage of the elements needed to create a balanced ecosystem. These orbitals are made of interconnected plates, and as the population grows and expands, they can just add more plates and it becomes bigger. This is someone imagining the view of what it would be like to be on an orbital with, that would be the arc of the rest of the orbital rising behind that mountain. Culture citizens also live on starships, ranging in size from relatively small to 3/4 the diameter of our moon. Both ships and orbitals are controlled by large and extremely advanced AI citizens called minds. Ship minds have unique personalities and choose their own names. Here are some examples. I like So Much for Subtlety. That's one of my favorites. Youthful Indiscretion. Gunboat Diplomat. Anarcho-communism. In the culture, citizens have equal access to whatever they need. Resources are shared and communal. As previously mentioned, there's no money. There are also no laws. Not having to compete for resources eliminates most crimes. When there's no scarcity, there's nothing to steal. If someone tries to murder someone else, usually the AI mind that's running the ship or the orbital will step in and prevent it from happening. If not, if someone successfully murders someone, they will have a drone assigned to them to follow them around and make sure they don't murder anyone else. Local group decisions are made by consensus, and on rare occasions, there may be a referendum put to the civilization as a whole. So, fully automated luxury queer space communism and the culture novels are forces for good in the world. Both have spurred discussion about universal basic income. They provide an example that can help us envision what we want the future to be. The best case scenario: more leisure, more fulfilling lives, more equality, more freedom. They show us that capitalism is not the only way. The way things are now is not the way they have to be. Automation is on its way. In many ways, it's here now. It could be used to concentrate more wealth in the hands of the few, or it could be used to help free the masses from selling their labor in order to survive. I love these books. The first one, Consider Phlebas, is probably the worst one. And so I would start with the second one, The Player of Games, and go back at some point to read the first one just for completion. You can read them in any order because they don't really... they're all in the same world, but their characters don't really move from book to book. Does anybody have any questions?
I see that there's a Zoom book.
I think it's in The Player of Games. There's a section that kind of... it goes off about how the culture doesn't have pronouns because they have a language that doesn't have pronouns, but all these stories have been translated for us, so they just slot in pronouns that we would understand, so that, you know, I wish that he had decided to use a gender neutral pronoun, and I also wish that Ursula Le Guin had done that in The Left Hand of Darkness. She just called... it was a species that had undifferentiated sex until they were in heat, and then they would go one way or the other. They could be male or female depending on the circumstances. And she just called all of them he. And she later said she wished she hadn't. But, it was, these books were... the first one was published in 1987, and they were written a lot of them were written 5 years before that because it took him a long time to get his science fiction published. So, yeah, I mean, I would nominate whatever the culture language is called Marian. Moraine. And I would have, maybe that would be my pronoun.
If you had known what that was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like The Player of Games, but I've only read most of them once. Player of Games I've read twice. The culture is like a humanoid species. They don't look like Earth humans. And there's actually a lot of variation because it was 7 or 9 separate species that kind of joined together. So there's a lot of variation. Some of them have fur. You can pause your pregnancy for however long you want. Just in the middle. That happens in one of the books.
Pregnant?
Yeah, just stay pregnant. I mean, people can live longer. It kind of goes in trend cycles. There's one character that's 10,000 years old and has his memories written into the cells, because his brain can't hold all his memories, so he has them written into his cells all over his body. But most people think 300 years is long enough.
And how do you die? Do you opt out?
Yeah, you opt out.
Decide.
Yep. Yep. Um, Sometimes what people will do is they'll be put in storage for a long period of time with instructions to like wake me up when this happens, or wake me up. There's this whole thing called what do they call it? Uh, subliming. Subliming. Uh, when a species gets to a certain stage of evolution, they can basically, I mean, it's not the rapture, but they kind of vanish. They go into this other realm, and it's called subliming. And the culture so far has like elected not to sublime because they want to like, they're meddlers. They like to get try and influence other societies to be more egalitarian, which is where what a lot of the stories are about, is like them doing that and them fucking up doing that.
So they're trying to like be
Yes,
egalitarian
yes,
colonialists?
yes. It's utopian colonialism, and
Seem ironical, but okay.
yeah, no, it's there's this uh not dichotomy, but like it's sort of,
Dissonance.
yeah, there's a dissonance, but that's kind of what the books are about too. Is that impulse, how it can go wrong? Is it right in the first place? Yeah. They don't have holodecks, but you can plug into computer worlds. Like you can be in your float tank with your full body suit jacked into whole other worlds.
Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, people live that way for years sometimes. Someone at the last presentation asked me if it was like Wall-E with everybody in their chairs and their screens and their big gulps.
Yeah.
And it's not. Culture citizens seem to spend like a ton of time in nature.
But you're like
You have like,
three-dimensionally.
I forget what they call them. I think they call them terminals. So I mean, you could just have a conversation with the AI that's running the orbital about anything you need. You don't have to be looking at a screen. And yeah, they go to coffee shops and play games and
A really
hike.
resourceful
Well, thank you for listening.